Good afternoon. From the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning with a roundup of today's top stories. It is Monday, November 17th. No prison time is coming for the pilot who nearly cut the engines of a flight mid-air over Washington state. Today, a federal judge ordered Joseph Emerson to 3 years of supervised release and credit for time he served in jail while waiting for a sentence. In 2023, Emerson was riding in the extra seat of a cockpit on a Horizon Air flight from Everett when he grabbed the two red handles that would cut off the engines. The crew subdued him, and he later said he was experiencing sleep deprivation and he'd taken psychedelic mushrooms earlier in the week. He'll be able to perform half of his community service at the Pilot Health nonprofit he founded after his arrest. A pipeline carrying jet fuel to SEA Airport sprang a leak and was shut down for much of last week. The Olympic pipeline carries fuels from refineries in Blaine, Ferndale, and Anacortes. Pipeline owner BP says the pipeline was partially restarted on Sunday, so today, cleanup crews are working to contain and clean up the jet fuel spilled onto a blueberry farm outside of Everett. A spokesperson for BP did not answer questions about the spill. In other airport news, Thanksgiving travel through SEA Airport might be a little easier this year. The Federal Aviation Administration is ending all the flight restrictions associated with the government shutdown. So starting today, airports like ours can get back to normal operations. And SEA travelers will have an extra security checkpoint now. Checkpoint 6 reopened today. That general checkpoint had been closed for almost a year for airport upgrades. A big couple of weeks for food are here, and Americans will be forking out more for Thanksgiving meals this year as the cost of food continues to rise. Meats, along with poultry and fish, are up more than 5%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Nonprofit organizations are not immune from the high costs. Peter Seith is a board president of Community Lunch on Capitol Hill, a nonprofit that provides hot meals for people in need.
We were lucky that we've had extremely good stewardship over many years, that we have had financial reserves that we could eat into. But that is unsustainable in the long term.
Community Lunch will be open on Thanksgiving Day, serving turkey, cranberry sauce, and some sides. Seith says most of their financial support comes from grants, city funds, and donations. Some news on homelessness today. Federal budget cuts could be leading to more homelessness in King County soon. The King County Regional Homelessness Authority is warning that the federal government has announced changes to its biggest homelessness grant program. It means that instead of getting $65 million a year from the feds, King County could get just $25 million going forward for all its work on homelessness. But officials say they keep looking for ways to keep the region's most vulnerable residents housed. An update on the National Guard situation in Oregon. They were never deployed by President Trump because the courts stopped him from doing so. So now, California Guard members that Trump had sent to Oregon are headed home. More from Oregon Public Broadcasting's Ryan Hass.
Trump deployed the troops after conservative media outlets portrayed nightly protests outside a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Portland as chaotic. Since then, the Trump administration has been in a protracted legal fight over the troops. On November 7th, a federal court issued a permanent injunction against the administration. The White House intends to appeal that ruling. I'm Ryan Hass reporting.
A wildlife story is catching our attention today. Colorado has a really small wolf population, so leaders from that state asked Washington to send some wolves to help boost their population. But as Northwest Public Broadcasting's Courtney Flatt explains, that won't be happening soon.
At a recent Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission meeting, Washingtonians raised their concerns.
Your priority must be Washington's wolves. Protecting or rebuilding Washington's endangered population is the only science-based, responsible, and ethical path forward.
That was Francisco Santiago Avila from the animal rights group Washington Wildlife First. Washington Fish and Wildlife commissioners say even though the state's population is doing better in some areas, it's still fragile. They voted this weekend to not give Colorado any wolves, for now. They plan to revisit the issue once Washington wolves aren't considered endangered in the state. I'm Courtney Flatt.
A couple of notes from the world of entertainment tonight. First, some good news on baseball. The Seattle Mariners have reportedly locked up first baseman Josh Naylor to a 5-year contract, according to ESPN.
Here's a high fly ball, deep center field. Varsho to the track, Varsho to the wall. It's gone! Josh Naylor goes deep, and the Mariners are on the board first.
Naylor quickly became a fan favorite this season after arriving in Seattle in a trade from Arizona. He added some pop to the lineup and helped the M's make it further in the playoffs than they ever have. And it's going to be a wicked party throughout Seattle this week. Wicked, literally, because the sequel to the 2024 film titled For Good comes out Thursday. Tickets are nearly sold out for the opening night at SIFF. The Pacific Science Center is also showing it in IMAX. And for the musical fans, Easy Street Records will be filled up Friday for a record release party. Expect to be inundated by Wicked this week. Next time on Seattle Now, the city's new professional sports team, the Seattle Torrent of the Professional Women's Hockey League.
I think the Torrent is a great name. Really identifies us as coming from the Pacific Northwest. The rain, the weather, it's a great name.
Hear me chat with Patricia all about it Tuesday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producers today are Vaughn Jones and Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers. And I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See ya.